Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the Sports Counterpoints podcast, back after a couple-week hiatus. It is May the 27th, 2025. Start out with the happy birthday to my sister, whose birthday is on Thursday. She won't see this because she doesn't watch sports stuff, but it was there. So we love you, sis. So yeah, so that's out there. Let's get to it, man. I got Coop and Brian with me as always. What's going on, my guys?
Hey,
what's going on?
Man,
Russ
great.
also, happy birthday from me too.
Yeah, great time out in Southern Cal down there with the fam recently. Just got back. That was awesome. So we back on the show. Brian's not traveling, I guess, for 1 week out the last 5 or 6, bro. Be gone. We back to it.
Yeah.
So let's see what we got, man. So we talking NFL check-in. We'll take a look at I think we kind of talk about our team schedules and kind of quick thoughts on what we're thinking. Any other, key games that you guys want to mention. Brock Purdy gets paid. So has anyone said a Purdy penny yet?
Nah, nobody. I think just you.
Okay, let's. I mean, I'm surprised. It sounds like something that would be in mainstream media, right? It's a pretty obvious pun.
Pretty clever.
That's funny.
We got that. And then we're going to check in on the NBA as we're getting closer to the finals. There's some college playoff changes, which we'll do right after the NFL, actually, because I want to talk about that. And I want to talk to the guys about the New York Liberty and some news there. So let's start with the NFL, man, as we always do. I'm excited. I'm reading stories about the Raiders every day. Training camp stories ain't nothing but stories. No one knows what's going to happen, but it keeps me in the know. So schedule-wise, man, what are y'all kind of games you're excited for? I know Brian, we talked about this. His team is on a world tour, playing back-to-back games overseas. But yeah, any other
time in history that's going to happen
to the Vikings with a rookie quarterback starting, as we're telling you. Aaron Rodgers is not going to the Vikes, bro.
Well,
Talk about it. Talk about it, Brian. The schedule.
Oh, I mean, look, yeah. I mean, with the rookie quarterback, I still don't. I still have my apprehension about whether or not they finish the preseason without a veteran quarterback on the team. We've talked a little bit about that, but anyways, Ireland and then London, back-to-back weeks against Pittsburgh and
the Browns.
Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Those games are tough because of the travel. It's a 6:30 start time here, which is still pretty early for even out there. And I don't know if they're planning on coming back and forth. No one's ever had to do this. So, they're going to be kind of figuring out, how to even prepare or make all of that happen. And
yep.
It's going to be an adventure. I don't understand it, but the Vikings schedule is crazy. It's one of the hardest by schedule difficulty.
Well, your division. Your division won hella games too, so yeah.
Yeah. But remember, they're supposed to have a second place schedule, even though they've got like a lot of very, very difficult teams. But add to that they have, I think, amongst the most prime time and televised games. I could almost watch them 3/4 of the season without having to buy a package. It's only so much. They've got 2 Sunday night games, a Thursday night game, a Monday night game. As a matter of fact, I think the first week of the season, they're the Monday nighter on September 8th.
5:15. Yep, against the Bears. Yep.
Yeah. And then they literally come back the following week and have a Sunday nighter. And then they got to play, when they finally get a regular season game, they get the Bengals at 10 a.m. So anyways, it's a very, very difficult schedule for them. The highlight or the most interesting part or the most intriguing part is them playing 2 back-to-back games in overseas, in Ireland and in London. And I don't even think those are in the same time zone. I think those are time zone apart as well. Yeah. But it'll be unique. We'll see how they do.
Yeah, y'all playing some teams, bro. Bears, Falcons, Bengals, Steelers, Browns, both overseas. I feel like the overseas games are getting them prepped for when they put a team over there. They're trying to see how this back-to-back travel works.
They got hella overseas
games. Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they were saying that the hardest stretch of any team is their week where they start. I think it's from October 19th through November 20th, where they have the Eagles, Chargers, Lions, Ravens, Bears, and Packers all the way straight through for that period of time. They said that's the hardest stretch of games.
It's followed by the Seahawks, who are potentially on the upswing, and if that's your old quarterback.
Yeah.
Then the Commanders, which is, we saw what they did, and then you actually play the whole NFC East almost back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. There's no real weeks off in here. I mean, the closest thing to a week off is the Browns, and because that is a game that is being played overseas, it's not a gimme either. Yep. The Steelers, they always find a way to win, 9 to 10 games. So you can't write them off. They're not going to be one of the best teams. But again, because it's overseas, you can't exactly write it off. And before that, they have Bengals, and they got good teams. It's relentless. It's relentless. Which is we haven't really talked about over-unders on wins. But the range for the picks are 12 wins to like 8, and it's.
So what does Vegas have you asked? It's like 7.5, right, for Minnesota?
I thought it was 9, but I don't know.
Oh, I'm gonna look now. Go ahead.
Like I said, it's a wide spread of picks for people winning, and so much of it has to do with the schedule. Because if you believe that you can predict what they're going to do against the Chargers on a Thursday night, or the Ravens at any point in time, or the Lions or the Bears, you're fooling yourself.
Falcons are going to be interesting too. You're not playing Kirk.
With the rookie quarterback.
Yeah, it's 8.5.
It's going to be interesting.
8.5. I mean, that's about right. Like I said, I thought it was 9, but
damn, you guys do have hella primetime games too. Interesting. So we're gonna see, and we'll get more to schedule predictions, or win-loss predictions and rankings and all that later as we get closer to the season. So Coop, you want to go, or you want to do Raiders first?
Yeah, you can go ahead, do Raiders.
So Raiders schedule. So first of all, we play in the preseason on August 16th, Coop, at Allegiant.
Oh, we do. I haven't even looked at y'all schedule. I'm about to see that. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that's y'all schedule too. So if you're interested in going to Las Vegas, it's gonna be hot, but it's a preseason game. Both our teams are playing. We're not gonna care. We're really gonna just turn up,
right?
And then you'll get to see the stadium for cheaper than otherwise, barely. So you got that. So then, Chargers, and I think we start out as I thought we started out with a Monday
New England.
Night
You start
game.
with New England. You start with New England.
Yep, excuse me. Yep, New England, and then the Chargers at the first game at Allegiant with Harbaugh coming there. So they made that a primetime game. Then the Commanders, Bears, Colts, Titans, the Chiefs, which I'm trying to go to that game too. The Jags, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Browns, Chargers again, Broncos again. Then we got the Eagles in Philly. So we'll see. By that time,
the back half of y'all schedule is kind of brutal. The back,
it gets a little tougher in spots, but I think, you still get the Jags in there. They got to figure out what they're going to do. We got the Titans in there. I think the main thing is, and I'm hoping that with Pete Carroll, this is a team that can win games they're supposed to win. If you're a team that can win games you're supposed to win, and then you surprise a couple teams, you have a chance of doing something. You can't. The Raiders' recent history have lost to, you're playing somebody who's weak. We're playing the Panthers after all that turmoil they had, and then Andy Dalton looks like Johnny Unitas. He's Joe Montana II. I don't know why I love saying Johnny Unitas. I've never seen him play. I just like the name. I got to keep it real. And it's an old reference I like to use. But anyway, so I'm excited about it. I'll go to a few games, so I'll report back. Y'all know how I do, but I think it's tough, but it's not as bad as it has been in recent years. Now that they're in Vegas, they don't technically fly as far now too. For years and years we'd have the most air miles from travel. Not really now, because they're a little bit closer to Central in the nation. So yeah, it's all right. I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, speaking of air miles, I think the 49ers travel the 5th or 6th most air miles this year.
So run it down.
I saw that. Actually, I'm about to I'm going to get accurate for everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then number 5. Behind the Chargers, Rams, Seattle, and Jacksonville, we travel 28,363 miles. So I'm sure that's going to be taken into consideration. But also the last year, I know the 49ers complained to the NFL that they were playing all those teams off of bye weeks last year. Actually, last 2 years they've had negative days rest, 22 and 20 the last 2 years. So the NFL, listen, they're not playing any teams coming off of buys this year. So we'll see if that helps in the win column. But when I look at the schedule, the first game is at Seattle, and that is going to be a very tough game. Not that I think that Seattle is going to be a playoff team, because I don't think they will, but it's the fact that we're going to have a lot of new players playing, and their first game is going to be in Seattle. This isn't college. This is the NFL. It's going to be a little bit different of experience. I just happen to look at the point spread. It's 49ers minus 1 point. I would not be surprised if Seattle won that game at all. I mean, like I said, I don't think Seattle was great, but for a first game for some rookies who are going to get a lot of playing time this year, most likely, that's not going to be an easy game. Arizona, week 3, I think that game is going to be very important to the 49ers. The Cardinals owned the 49ers last year, but recently or historically, they really don't. But this is going to be a barometer game, because Arizona's defense has gotten better, will be what should be better this year. And this is going to be a game, I think, that means more to San Francisco than Arizona. If San Francisco loses this game, I think it's still going to be some question marks on what this team can do, or the ability of this team, or how far it can go, or whatever, what type of season it's going to be. They have to beat the Cardinals, I believe, in week 3, just so, they can have some good vibes, going for the rest of the season. Jacksonville, not really worried about that. That's a break. Well, then they're sneaky good, but they have a new coach and stuff like that, and Trevor Lawrence. But the Rams, it's always a tough game in week 5. Then
I think they got better too.
Rams did get better. They added Devontae Adams. So that's another receiver that they have to guard besides Puka Nacua. They usually play the Rams well, but still the Rams, and the Rams are a good team. Then they got Tampa Bay the next week. Tampa Bay's been pretty good since Baker's got there. Not saying they're a Super Bowl level team, but they're pretty good. Atlanta, they're a mess. Not really worried about that. But the week 8 game against Houston is going to be interesting, because DeMeco Ryan knows pretty much everything the 49ers like to do.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. And they're playing against CJ Stroud as well. So
that's cool.
So that's going to be I'm surprised they didn't put this on prime time. It's a 10 a.m. game, and it's at Houston too. So I will be most likely going to that game. I know I went to the last game they played at Houston when they had D-Hop. So my boy lives in Houston. I think I'll be going to that game. Then they play the Giants in week 9. The Giants are the coach is just trying to pretty much save their job. So I'm not sure how good they will be. But Russell Wilson usually seems to find a way to always beats us. Hopefully Jameis Winston is quarterback in that game. After that is the Rams. Tough game. Arizona, tough game. Carolina, we don't know how they're going to be. Cleveland, I'm not worried about, especially if Shador is playing. Week 14, they have a bye. They play Tennessee. They're just trying to rebuild, even though I will be rooting for Cam Ward to do well. Sure, Indianapolis, not worried about. The Bears, we don't know about the Bears. The Bears should be good on paper. But we don't know how that's going to turn out. And plus, they're in probably the toughest division in football right now: Chicago, Minnesota, Detroit, and Green Bay. So that week 17 game, I don't know. Then they end with the Seahawks, which I think they will beat them during at that time, week 18, the second time playing them. But a lot of people expecting big things from the 49ers this season on the schedule. The over-under is 10.5. If I were a betting man, I probably would lean towards the under, probably going 10-7 this year, not 11-6, only because the 49ers will be playing a lot of young guys, and young guys take losses in the NFL. So the schedule is pretty workable. I still think the Rams should win the division. They're the better team, but it's all depending on Stafford's health. But I think the 49ers should be able to get above 500 this year with their schedule.
Okay. And then looking
do you think, I just want to make sure I was clear on that. Mm-hmm. So you think that the team that has the bajillion-dollar guy is going to do about the same as they did last year?
Who? Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy? Yeah. They went 6-11 last year, and they're not going 6-11 this year.
You think they're going to do better?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Because of Brock Purdy.
Why wouldn't they?
I just wanted to hear that. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd assume they would too.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. They're not going 6-8 last year. 6-11. I mean, he was the 10th best quarterback.
I wanted to understand.
He was the 10th best quarterback in the NFL last year.
I just figured they do better than it's losing back-to-back 6. I don't wish that on anybody because I've been there, so I think that's part of it too. I just realized that there's a Friday night game to start the season.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
and you can only see it on YouTube. So you're gonna have all these people. It's the Brazil game, right?
yeah. So the season starts Thursday, September 4th, 2025. Dallas at
Mhm.
Philly. Philly should. Okay, that's a preseason game, and then Kansas City at the Chargers, but that game is in Brazil,
Mhm.
and that game shows us YouTube, like Brian said. So
That was on that bad turf too. That Philly and Green Bay played in last year too. People got hurt left and right.
hopefully they don't. I don't want to see any
League
injuries. I
likes
don't care who you play for, but
the
we
league
gonna see.
likes the 49ers too. They give them 5
Primetime
primetime
games?
television games, and some of them are late in the season, which is a little weird to me, but 5 is a lot.
Like,
Well, when you got a good quarterback, I mean, that's what happens. All the good quarterbacks, their over-unders is
Yeah.
9 and higher. All the good quarterback teams. That's what
you
happens.
gotta start out with a Monday night game.
That's
Next week, Washington at Green Bay to start. They got some games. Raiders are playing. We got the second of a back-to-back after Tampa Bay, Houston. Yeah, there's some.
Have y'all peeped some other schedules? Have y'all peeped the
I'm looking right
Eagle?
now.
You peeped the Eagle schedule?
I'm looking at the whole
The
thing
fir-
right now.
Within the first 7 weeks, the Eagles got to play the Chiefs, the Rams, Tampa Bay, Denver, and Minnesota within the first 7 weeks. And then they end the season.
I'll trade them schedules right now because I can't find a team that has a schedule that's as hard as the Vikings.
What'd you mean? What'd you mention Denver for anyway? Like,
Denver's gonna be a playoff team again, like I picked them last year too. They'll be in the playoffs.
man.
But then in the season, but what I'm mad about is I want to see Washington and the Eagles play early in the season. They don't play till the third to the last game of the season, then the last game of the season.
Oh,
And then because the Eagles,
and then-
2 of the last 3 of the Eagles games of the season is against Washington. They got 1 against Buffalo. They got 1 at Buffalo, then they go to Washington. At Washington.
that
I
first
mean,
place schedule's tough, boy.
that's crazy. And then the Chiefs, 5 of their first 8 games, they're on prime time. I know the Giants are on their schedule, but
No surprise there.
I don't see that being an easy game for the Chiefs because they got to play the Eagles before that. Then after that, they got to play the Ravens. So
Monday night game, September 22nd, Detroit at Baltimore. That was a Super Bowl matchup I wanted last year. So curious to see how that goes.
yeah, I'm interested in hear y'all thoughts on these teams once we get close to the season where they're gonna end up at
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
as far as the places. Yeah.
So we got that going. Let's do shift in unless y'all got anything else. Let's go to the college football playoff. Give me the rundown on what changed.
Well, pretty much now, based on the rankings, where they're ranked is how they're going to be seated in the college football playoff. That's the change they made. So if you're from a conference like, I mean, no disrespect to Boise State, but it's not like they're playing the SEC schedule. So they're playing against mostly, the weaker teams of the Mountain West Conference, and they'll go undefeated. And instead of getting that automatic bye, it was pretty much going to be based on where they are ranked. So most likely they won't be ranked in the top 3 or 4, so they won't get a bye. They'll probably be ranked maybe 8th or 9th or maybe 6th or something like that. They'll still be in the playoffs, but they won't get that first round bye. I mean, I was okay with the format before. I didn't really care at Boise or Arizona State or whoever got first round buys, but I think when I read that, I was just thinking of the major conferences because most likely they're going to take the first 4 spots in the rankings every single year. Maybe it might be a caveat one year where somebody else does, but most likely they're going to at least hold 3 of the 4 spots, and they're going to be the ones always getting the first round buys. Whereas the schools in the Mountain West and other conferences, they'll be in the playoffs, but they'll probably never get a bye. So that's the first thing I just thought. I didn't care about the format. I mean, they're going to keep tweaking it. I heard somebody also saying they want to go to 16 teams, which I said would happen. Nobody's going to be satisfied with all the teams that's in it, and they're going to complain about how many games they're playing, but they're going to add more games, etc. So it doesn't matter to me either way. It's almost like the tush push. Brian, do you have any thoughts on the college format change?
It doesn't matter. It is disappointing because this is just another way that the little team gets squished, right? So, last year, if you compared what the bracket looked like last year to what it would look like right now with the same teams, Boise was a 3 seed. So it was Oregon, Georgia, Boise, and Arizona State who had the 4 byes. Under the new situation, it would be Oregon, Georgia, Texas, and Penn State. That means Arizona State would have played Ohio State in the opening round. Boise State would have played Indiana with the opportunity to play Oregon right after that. I'm not sure how it would all shake out. That's all for speculation. But this does pretty much guarantee that none of these kind of smaller smaller conferences by TV watching. It's not smaller conferences by size or students or any of those other metrics. It's because Arizona State would be one of the biggest. They're one of the biggest college by attendance in the world. Will not have an opportunity to compete for buys. There's just no way an undefeated Arizona State will still never get a buy over a 1 or 2 loss Georgia or Ohio State, et cetera. And that, it's disappointing. But most importantly, they're still in. So all those teams that win they get a spot at the table, and I think that's good enough. The NCAA always has to do something that's stupid and unfair, and this is fine. Could be worse.
Yep, could be worse. Real talk. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys want to talk about this, but I just think that whole tush push thing, passing, I think that's something big. I don't really care for it either way, whether they banned it or not. No, it passed. I mean, the tush push is still here.
Yeah, it's still here. Right.
It's still here.
Yeah.
So I didn't
care if the ban, and the ban did not happen.
Yeah. I didn't care if it passed or not. I mean, to me, it's just a football play. That's how I looked at it. Yeah. They got the only reason this play works. The only reason this play works is because of Jalen Hurts. That's it. He's the only reason. You can say offensive line, whatever. It's Jalen Hurts. He squats 600 pounds. He goes low. He gets a yard every single time. It's unstoppable. Josh Allen, he's a good quarterback and all, but he has to go up top and doesn't always get a yard, which we already saw in the Raven game. Jalen Hurts pretty much makes this play go. But I do actually believe, and I would bet anybody on this, that the Philadelphia Eagles win another Super Bowl, that play is getting banned next year. I think it's getting banned. I think people are going to hate on it and they're going to ban it.
I got to see how it works without Jason Kelce.
It did work last year without Jason Kelce. It worked because of he didn't play last year. It could work because of Jalen Hurts. That's the reason why that play works. That's it.
I mean, they have an outstanding line. I'm not taking anything away from their outstanding line.
Yeah.
Right. It certainly helps to have a big, solid, physical, quarterback who scores more rushing touchdowns than the MVP of the year at running back in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, he's the reason that thing works.
But I don't know if it ever goes away, and I'm fine with it being there. The only thing I would change, if I were to change anything, is to make it legal on the opposite side, because you're not allowed to touch the center, you're not allowed to touch the line in special team plays. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. I think I mentioned this towards the middle of the season. I think it was Mark Schlereth who said it, and I actually thought it was exceptionally well made point in that, hey, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do the exact same thing on the defensive side to make that work. And there's already an offensive advantage because they know when the ball is hiking, so they can get off the line quicker. So give the other team at least some advantage to compete in that dogfight. And if they get it, they get it. But hog tying and handicapping them, and then expecting that there's gonna be anything that's a performance, but is silly.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Word. Real quick, just checking in because we're a sports show. NHL playoffs. Edmonton Oilers are up on the Dallas Stars 3-1. And the Florida Panthers are up on the Carolina Hurricanes 3-1 also. So it looks like it's going to be Edmonton and Florida.
Yeah, everybody bet Florida next game. Yeah, just bet Florida next game. You'll be all right. I guess last football topic, because I actually want to hear Brian's take on Brock Purdy's contract.
My bad. I wouldn't. My bad. I forgot about Brock, bro. Yeah, my bad.
You all
bad.
good?
Go ahead.
That's all good. Nah, because people ask how you feel about Brock Purdy's contract. I said wait to the podcast. So now I'm going to talk about it. Brock Purdy, I understand his agent's, I guess, plea for him to get, a lot of money. Seeing that,
that's his job.
Seeing that, Trevor Lawrence, got $200 million, and Jordan Love got a massive contract, after 8 games, which is dumb all the way around. You got Tua, his contract probably includes chewing gum and walking straight without getting hurt. He got a boatload of money and still can't put up numbers. Still can't, win with Tyreek Hill. So I understand that he's accomplished way more than all those guys combined, including Dak Prescott as well. which is a bad contract too. So I get his agent's plea for more money, but at the same time, Brock Purdy is not in that, elite category. He's good, but not elite, which is why I always said I would start negotiations. Everybody said I was crazy. At 3 years, $120 million guaranteed. That's $40 million a year. Everybody looks at these contracts and they want to look at average annual value. I don't know why people do that. This is not baseball. This is not a fully guaranteed deal, but people like to do that. I have no idea why. Those contracts in the NFL, they're not worth the paper they're printed on. So I don't understand why people look at the large number. You got to look at the details. And the details of Brock Purdy's contract says he has fully guaranteed 3 years, $115 million. And I was saying 3 years, 120, and everybody thought I was crazy. The 49ers obviously thought the exact same thing because that's what his contract is. 3 years, 115, fully guaranteed, and they can get out of the deal after year 2. So they don't even have to pay him after 3 years. After the $115 million, they don't even have to pay him. They can get out of the deal after year 2. It's a brilliant deal by the 49ers, and it's a good deal for Brock Purdy because he gets 115 right away, and the 49ers have a lot of flexibility in that contract. Everybody tried to tell me they don't have any money. But Fred Warner just got paid. George Kittle just got paid. They both re-up. So for the 49ers, for people, y'all need to change websites or talk to people who are actually in the know because 49ers have plenty of money and they just handed it out by the loaf to Purdy, to Kittle, and to Fred Warner. Okay. And if you look at the cap hits for Brock Purdy, his first 3 years, upcoming years, cap hit is $9 million. Next year, $24.8 million, and the following year, $30.8. He will never count more than 20%. He will never count 20% or more against the cap. He doesn't even have a $31 million cap hit for 3 years. Okay. And Jalen Hurts is actually proof that you can have a quarterback who's not elite and win a Super Bowl. He just did it, and his cap hits are more than Brock Purdy's. So this whole notion he's getting 50, 60 million, going to take up all the cap, can't sign anybody. It's a bunch of nonsense. 49ers made out in this deal pretty good. The fact that they can get out. And I don't understand you people out there who are mad the 49ers got rid of players from a 6-11 team, talking about it was a mistake to let them go. I don't understand you people. These are the players that just went 6-11. You might as well get rid of them. They went 6-11. You might as well get some new players or some rookies in there. So I don't understand talking about the 49ers lost so many people. Purdy's not going to be any good. I guess we'll have to see next year. But other than that, I think the 49ers made out good. They can get out this in year 2. Good deal. Good deal on both sides. Great deal. I like it.
Still 40 million left in cap too.
What do you think? I don't know. Do you think he likes the idea? I just want to know who all these you people are, man. They feeling very pointed at right now.
No, I'm just saying. A lot of people say you lost a lot of players. Like they were old and injured. They lost games. But yeah.
I guess it's you people who also thought that the 49ers had no money. I don't know how that was going to be the case, but
anyway, people were saying we're going to play Brock Purdy. That's why I was saying that. That's it. And Fred Warner and Kittle got paid.
Well, I think that was more a salary cap distinction. And I will say that the way that they did the deal, as you mentioned already, was very, very smart from a cap space perspective. The 49ers now have $40 million in cap space for this season, the second highest total in the league. And so they've been able to be aggressive with the salary cap. So, they still got money to spend right now. All of that saying, look, Brock Purdy got a whole bunch of money. I'm sure he's very happy about all the money that he's going to get. Remember that if they cut him before, it accelerates the cap hit because that's the way signing bonuses work. So even though they could cut him after year 3, they probably won't because the cap hit would be accelerated and that would be large. So it was a smart deal if you're going to pay someone a lot of money. Yes. Is it a great deal if you're a quarterback who wants a lot of money? Yes. The only problem is Brock Purdy's just not that good. And so now they've given all this money to this guy who really isn't going to help them win football games. And that's kind of a problem when it's not that they're giving, when you're Patrick Mahomes and you're giving him 20% or whatever, you're giving a big chunk of the money. He can still help you win football games, whereas Brock Purdy cannot. And therefore, when you give him a whole bunch of money and he's not going to help you win games, that's usually problematic. But other than that,
how is he not going to help win games? Because McCaffrey's hurt or Debo's gone?
How many games did he win last year?
Because I just want to know why if Jalen Hurts had a bad season, Stafford's had a bad season. They all had bad seasons. Why are they not going to win games? Because of him? Because why? If somebody's gone?
No, because he is not good. He is there.
Okay.
He is not good. Therefore, I
Okay.
do not think
This
he is
gonna
going
be
to help them win games.
Wait,
It
it's
has
gonna be a
nothing to do with
season.
anybody
Okay.
else other than I don't think he is a very good quarterback and football player who can help people win
Jeez.
a bunch of games.
Okay, but you
This is
think
all
Tua?
me
But you
not
think
liking
Tua is good?
Brock Purdy.
Hey,
But
let's
you
not
think Tua
even.
is good?
Yo,
Tua is
this
good?
this
You
ain't
think Tua
even.
is good? He has Tyreek Hill, and you think Tua is good? He
No,
can't
I get
put
it.
up anything.
I've seen.
You
Yeah,
think
this ain't
Love
even.
is good?
Wait.
Okay. You said Jordan
Wait a
Love is
minute.
better. Oh, go ahead.
Wait a minute. Stop. I'm not trying to compare him to anyone else.
Okay.
I'm saying the problem with Brock Purdy. So this is not me talking about Tua. I didn't bring up Tua's name.
Okay.
I didn't bring up Jordan Love's name. This is me saying I do not think Brock Purdy is good. I do not care if you pay him $1 or $100 million. He is still not going to be a better football player.
You've been on
And
this
therein
guy's head
lies the
forever.
problem with them winning games.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Jordan Love is good?
This is gonna be the last part of this. I'm telling you
The
right
last
now.
question, yeah.
Yeah, this is the last part of this.
Because I'm gonna make a point.
For
Once you say
sure.
your vote, go ahead.
I think he's talented.
We'll move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll see what
I'll save it.
goes.
We'll
Yeah,
save it. Yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah,
We'll
because
save it.
my neither of them are as good as Justin Herbert.
You're
Anyway,
hella funny.
anyway, all right. So we had that, and then me and Brian were talking when I was out there, and he mentioned that the New York Liberty, which I thought was really interesting. Did they sell, or was that the team valuation?
So they sold a portion of the team, and in order to sell a portion of the team,
Sure.
they have to give it a valuation. So that they value the team at $450 million to be able to sell the portion at mid-teens per share of the stock. But this was a fundraising effort to be able to build a practice facility. So they raised something like $26 or so million. But this made this the most valuable women's sports franchise in history. I do not think it's a coincidence that valuation was done in a year right after Caitlin Clark and others came into the league and spiked ratings. But either way, women's soccer has been a massive sport around the world, especially in the United States. Couldn't get there. I mean, $450 million is a lot of damn money to be valued. There's a bunch of other women's basketball teams who have won things. A lot of people have thought of Vegas, which has some premier facilities dedicated to it, might be worth more.
Yeah.
But the New York Liberty were the first ones to get to that point. Real evaluation, real money spent, not $450 million, but a big chunk of that. And they were able to raise that money to be able to improve the franchise, which is only going to add further to the valuation in the future. And congratulations to them. I mean, it is such a wonderful thing for the WNBA, which I think is plenty fine to be a sports league and entertaining and all of these things. But to be able to get to that type of number is a real accomplishment. When you had when the league first started, people were buying franchises for less than $1 million. And you pay to field a team. Yes, you have a franchise. So congratulations to them to get to that kind of number.
I'm looking at. Go ahead, Coop.
No, I was just saying. I agree with everything that Brian said, but it's funny to me how in basketball, the teams that are worth because New York Liberty is a really good franchise. I mean, they've been good for a while. It's still good this year. In basketball, though, WNBA and NBA, the most valuable franchises, with exclusion of the Lakers and Knicks, are usually franchises that win a lot of games. Whereas in football, I noticed it's opposite. The franchise, like the New York Giants, they're the fourth most valuable franchise in the NFL. It's like you don't even have to be good in NFL to be valuable. Whereas in basketball, you consistently most likely need to win unless you're the Lakers or you're the Knicks, to be considered valuable. But in New York, the New York Liberty fall in this category. I mean, like you said, Brian, good for them to be valued that high. I would have never guessed it was $400 million ever. Never went that high.
So one of the original 8 franchises in the WNBA, in last year, they saw a significant jump of ticket sales in a 462% increase in ticket sales, making them one of the highest selling teams in the NBA. They play at Barclays, which is still pretty new, right? I think they're like
Brooklyn.
in Brooklyn. Season ticket memberships increased by 152%, 26 sellouts throughout the year. Their attendance has increased by about 64% a year. So they've been growing anyway, which is awesome. I mean, and they have some ballers on the team for sure.
Yeah, they could play.
So that's cool.
I mean, last year on June 18th, they had an article in Sports Illustrated about what every WNBA franchise was worth. Number one was the Las Vegas Aces at 140 million. I don't think anyone's surprised by that. Number two, Seattle Storm at 135 million, and the New York Liberty at 130 million. The reason why I bring this up is before the Clippers were purchased for $2 billion by Ballmer, they were thought to be worth less than $1 billion. And then Ballmer decided to just say, F it, I'm going to buy it for $2 billion because I want to. And that's how this is going to go. And almost immediately, all the teams started being valued at that same type of plateau. Look what happened in Golden State. Yeah. Well, so if you're the Las Vegas Aces and the Seattle Storm, Phoenix Mercury was at 105 right underneath them. And those are all three of those were worth 100 million. And now the New York Liberty is at 450 million. You're looking at your last year's valuation and thinking, I may be worth 4 times that after one season. That is amazing. Now, the problem is still revenue. By example, the only one that I could look up real quickly was the Los Angeles Sparks, who were considered have a valuation of 85 million last year. I don't know what they are now. Only did about $17 million in revenue. So that's kind of how this is working, right? It's about 4.5 EBITDA to get to that valuation. So, still a long way on the revenue side, but valuation is important.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that? Yeah, dope. Word. All right, fellas. Shoot, that's where we're at, man. That was our topics for today. Let's look at anything else. We'll get to the last segments.
You want to jump in NBA real quick? Just quick thoughts on each team.
Man, I'm tripping, bro. Jeez,
gotta talk about Indiana, New York, and
I'm rusty, man. I've only been playing golf, man. I ain't thought about no show. You're so right. Thanks, Coop, for keeping us on track. Absolutely, man. So start with the Western Conference. OKC leads against the Minnesota Timberwolves 3-1. Thanks, Coop.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Thank you.
Man, I just start with this series. I got I'm sure everybody got OKC winning.
I
mean, they're the better, offensive and defensive team. But what was funny is when I watched that one game where Minnesota won, they put up 149 points and they could not miss a shot. Julius Randle was shooting off the backboard shots from the top of the key behind the 3-point line and hitting them. But I did notice something this series, though, you guys. And I think I noticed a little bit last series too. Anthony Edwards can be taken out of games. Sometimes he's just not a factor. In a half, in a actual 3 quarters, maybe 4 quarters, a good defense, seemed like a good defense or a good defensive game plan can take him out of games. And sometimes he's kind of invisible on the court. And he needs to, if he wants to be that guy or thinks he's that guy, he definitely needs to step up in moments like this. I know he's young, probably takes as a learning experience and probably won't play like this again. But there's some games, I think he only took 2 shots in the first half in one game or something like that. That type of stuff like that can't happen. I don't know what you guys think about the series, but that's pretty much my thoughts. OKC will take care of business in game 5 and they'll go to the finals.
Yeah.
So, looking at that series, I understand what you're saying about Ant being locked up, but that is also because Lou Dort is legitimately one of the best defensive players in the league right now. This was only his first year being first team all defense, but most have been saying that he should have been first team all defense for quite some time. And that, he doesn't score anything. He's a 4-point guy. But he is a lockdown defender, and he has been a wedgie, literally all up in that dude's backside for Ant this entire series. Yeah. So while everybody needs to get to the point where they can play through great defense, I will say that the credit here, in my opinion, goes to Lou Dort, who was playing just lights out. The guys, in the last game, only played 30 whole minutes, only took 3 shots. So he is clearly there for one reason and one reason only, and that is to be Ant's shadow. And it's been a good strategy. So they've been putting Lou Dort in and out whenever Ant is playing, basically, and his job is just to be annoying and play great defense, which he's done. I agree with you. I really thought that Minnesota had a chance. I believe if they had won that last game, that they could have stretched this to 7 and possibly have won it. But once you get down 3-1, you're just kind of a puppy on a freeway. It's just a matter of time.
Puppy on the freeway.
That's tough.
I heard
So, and so, when you got 3 shots to take that to win one game, the 1 seed is not going to go down like that.
Yeah. I never heard of Lou Dort until Shannon Sharp said child support, divorce court, Lou Dort. I never heard about
I hadn't heard that one. That's funny.
Oh, it's so funny, bro.
Yeah. Like yeah. I never heard of him, but his last name isn't Dort. It's like hella long. It's Dort.
His first name is Lugentz, and then
Lugentz.
Lugentz. Okay. His last name is Dort, but
it's Dort. It's Lugentz. That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
man. And Brian, let's talk about this other series, man. I'm heavy on Indiana. I'm an Indiana believer now, man.
Indiana's up 3-1, right?
Yeah, they have covered 3 games for me. Go ahead. Talk about
I've always been an Indiana believer, but obviously because part of it was that they made the finals last time, and there's something about the way this team plays together that makes that happen. I think this is a really good Knicks team, but they still need to get that punch. As I've said consistently, the problem with the other side, the other series, is both of them are young. But in this one, the Pacers have been in the mix for multiple years now, and they've kind of taken those lumps, whereas the Knicks are still a new team, gelling with Cat and Jalen Brunson, who is having some issues in this series. And Indiana is playing, I guess you could say, Indiana basketball, because they're playing great team basketball. They're coming together. They're making great shots. They've got somebody in Halliburton who seems to be able to live up to the moment. And ultimately, that's going to give them, I think, a much easier path to the finals than the Thunder. But, I think the Pacers are going to take this. I would not be surprised if they win the very next game, because the thing that I see with the Knicks is I don't know if they have the heart yet, not saying that they can't develop it, to go in and fight to win a game when they don't believe they can win the series down 3-1.
Man, Indiana has taken down Cleveland. They have taken down Boston. I think this is the top 3 seeds, I think, in the Eastern Conference. Indiana has no quit in them. It doesn't matter how many points they're down. They feel they can come back. And I don't understand how they keep up this torrid scoring pace. They had 130. Then in the conference finals, when it's game 4, you don't score 130 points. It just doesn't happen. They keep scoring every single game. They had a blip last game, but they're scoring 150, 120, 125 every single game in every single series. I don't know how they keep doing it. It's crazy to me. Because they score the way they do, New York just can't keep up. I think they're Jalen Brunson dependent or reliant. And then when he's out the game, Cat doesn't always, Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't always step up and be that man. I mean, he's a decent player, but he doesn't really, have that, I would say, gene or want to take over or whatever. So that's why I think Indiana was the better team coming in, because New York is so Jalen Brunson reliant. It seemed like to build a team around Jalen Brunson, a short point guard that shoots a lot, you need certain type of players. Whereas I think Tyrese Halliburton is easy to build around because he kind of fits with everybody. He probably does a little bit of everything and fits with everybody. And everybody can kind of shine on the Pacers with Halliburton. Whereas Brunson pretty much, he's a good player, but he kind of dominates the ball and takes a lot of, ill-advised shots as well. It's helped him get to this point, but I think it's going to kind of run out against Indiana. But, props to Indiana, man.
I feel like Sacramento might regret drafting him and letting him play elsewhere.
He was drafted by Sacramento?
Oh yeah, the fans do.
Jalen Brunson?
No.
It's
Halliburton.
Halliburton. Oh yeah, Halliburton. Yeah, Halliburton. Yeah. Well, you got to lead. Yeah, Halliburton.
But going to your point about scoring, when you get 20 points off the bench from Benedict Mathurin.
Right, bro. He balled in that tournament a couple years ago, though. He was fun to watch.
He had 20 today. Yeah.
We had 20 in the last game in 12 minutes. And then remember that Halliburton was meant to be the number 2 guy on this team when they put it together. Pascal Siakam was supposed to be the number 1,
right?
But they just fit together. They're playing great. I mean, they both had 30 last game.
Yeah, Halliburton had 12 and 15 though. 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 4 steals. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly the best player on that team, but I'm just saying it was the way that they were building it together. The whole reason that they went to Toronto to get Pascal Siakam was to bring in the star to play alongside of Halliburton, and it has been, ever since. It's funny. I mean, everyone has been talking about this. Towards the end of the season, the player said that the most overrated player in the NBA was Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
I don't think a single one of those people would raise their hand and said it
Oh
was me
no.
that said it.
No, they're not talking now. Yeah.
No.
They ain't talking now.
I'd ask them to do it for the motivation. Like, please.
Those people.
Yeah.
You people.
You
who
people.
said-
Please vote.
You people who said that Tyrese Halliburton was overrated were wrong.
Please,
Yeah.
please vote for me.
If him and Pascal Siakam both have 30 in a game, they're probably going to win every single one of those games if both of those guys are on like that. Because everybody else just feeds.
Y'all seen this take of that we're headed towards a finals where both teams were built off of trading Paul George?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
For hella picks.
And we are most certainly heading towards that finals.
Yeah, for sure. And then Shea, Gilgeous Alexander was on the Clippers too, wasn't he?
Yep.
He was?
Wow. Yeah.
That was the main priest that got traded for, and they didn't think anything of him. And they gave everything and SGA. It wasn't like SGA was thought of as a future superstar. It was like, oh yeah, we'll also throw in this SGA guy who's a little bit talented and young.
Yeah. Damn. Real quick, I'm gonna tell you guys the NBA first team. Giannis, SGA, Jokic, Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell. Y'all okay with that?
Yeah, gotta be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I like Donovan Mitchell. I think most people might say that he was the kind of the extra guy in.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But I've always liked him. I liked him in Utah. I liked when he went there. And Cleveland was so good this year that to not have somebody representing that team,
I get that,
wouldn't have been correct. So
I get that.
I'm fine with it, but I understand why people might be looking a little sideways at that.
I was just surprised at the second team. It's Anthony Edwards, LeBron and Curry, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Brunson. LeBron and Curry on the second team is something I'm not used to seeing. So that just kind of.
Well, so here's the thing: if you were going to take the NBA front first five versus the NBA second five, would you vote to? Who do you think would win that game?
The first five.
I might take the second team.
I would take the first five.
Who was the second team?
Second team is Anthony Edwards, LeBron, Curry, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson will take shots away from Curry. That's why I don't like that. I want Curry shoot more.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know, bro. I might go for a sec. Yeah, Curry.
And last team, the third team is Cade Cunningham from Detroit. He probably should have got it. Carl Anthony Towns, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Williams from Oklahoma City, and James Harden. He made the third team.
Yeah.
Oh,
he always does, bro. Somehow.
I don't want to talk about that.
Dudes at the YMCA that could beat
man. Come on now. Okay, I'm done. I shouldn't have mentioned the third team. I didn't know he was on it. All right, moving on.
5 guys at the YMCA. Okay. I don't know. That's a bit tough. That's maybe Drew League.
Man.
Okay, maybe Drew League.
Hell of funny. Okay. All right, Coop. Hey, am I forgetting anything else, bro? Because I've been off
good
all day long, man.
We good. Hogwash and man to win it. That's where we at.
All right, let's do it. Game balls first. Now I get to say you got one. Yeah. If you guys got one.
I don't have one. B.
Yeah, Halliburton.
Oh man, easy.
Watching him play at this level so consistently and totally understanding the moment every single time, being clutch, all while having the NBA as a whole anonymously call you the most overrated player. You got nothing but my respect from this point forward. I like, I don't like ball hog point guards. Right. And he is definitely not one of them. Like I've always liked Donovan Mitchell. I like him now. I didn't really know him all that well into the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, he's a sack.
But he plays the game the right way, and he's still a scoring point guard. It's a joy to watch him play basketball. And then if after you all go, I have one more.
All right. I'll go. I'll give it to the NFL schedule makers. There is at least 1 or 2 games I want to see every single week of the season. I mean, this is a good damn schedule. There's some good games coming up this year. So I'm looking forward to this season. Not just watching my team play, but you guys' team plays and other teams as well when you play against certain teams. So yeah, I'll give it to the schedule makers. They did a great job.
Go ahead, B. I don't have one.
He just went.
Luka Doncic, who showed up at an event recently looking very, very skinny. That man has
Real
lost,
Madrid
was doing cocaine.
Yeah,
no.
I don't know. No, he looks physically strong. I'm guessing that he took all the criticism, the shot from the coach and everything else, which was all warranted, because I do not like him. No, I don't, Sam. I am. But he looks like he's taking the offseason seriously. He clearly looks like he's dropped some weight and gained some muscle. And while I have not liked Luka, nor do I think he has been as good as people wanted to say, I do think he's talented enough that if he takes this offseason seriously, gets in some type of shape, has some stamina, and learns to play defense, amongst some other things, that he could be pretty good. And for the effort, I give him a game ball as well.
All right, so here's the thing, right? I saw a thing on this too. He was at Real Madrid at a basketball game overseas. They said literally, as soon as he leaves the country, he loses all that weight. It's American food.
Whatever, he could push away from the table like Zion.
He makes enough money. Hire a chef.
You got to, but that's literally it, bro. It's the Zion situation. Yeah, it's American food.
I'm looking at him right now.
He gains that, and if you look at the seasons, it's been funny. I was watching this guy talk about it. Look at him like off season, and then when he gets in, it's the opposite of Shaq.
He needs to push back to the table.
He's gonna have to, but yeah, that's what it is. It's American food, man.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm looking at him right now. You're right. He is skinny.
Yeah, he
lost this white T-shirt on.
Yeah, he lost it great. So yeah, good point. All right, cool. So that's that. Hogwash, man. What's hogwash in the world of sports?
NBA players and Adam Silver. That's what's hogwash. Okay. Look, let me tell you two things. I'm tired of all this flopping. Even SGA is doing it. Okay, this flopping is getting annoying. But what's more annoying is these players putting their hand in the air to challenge something every damn foul call. I'm getting sick and tired of that. They need to put an end to that. If somebody puts their hand there, they just need to honor that, and so they can just lose their challenge. Because every time somebody commits a foul or does something, they always put doing the circle, the replay. Man, it's an obvious foul. Okay, I mean, I'm sick of that. Every single time somebody commits a foul, especially Draymond, he does it like at least 3-4 times a game. They got to do something about that. If somebody puts their hand, if you want to stop it, just say when somebody puts their hand there, we're honoring that challenge, and then that's it. You have no more challenges. You can't do it no more. It's a technical foul, seriously, because it's getting out of hand after every single foul doing it. Not even questionable. It's annoying.
B?
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the referees as well, because you all are supposed to be so damn good that you can spot this. And yet the number of times they fall for the hand going in the arm and pulling it up and calling that
for years.
Now too much. It is too darn much. Not to mention, the NBA should really, really want to look into Scott Foster, given that every time that we get to this point in the season, they start talking about Scott Foster, the extender, is on the job. And there was an article on ESPN, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, that was talking about, don't worry, the extender's here. These are series we're going. And it was talking about every series of this man's long career and how he happens to appear in games 4, 5, and 6 and all in these types of situations. And all of a sudden these games these series go a little bit longer. Now, they didn't say that the series results necessarily changed, but the fact that he historically has added 1 to 2 games to these series is something that if I were the NBA, I would look into that. And then, these flopping charges, don't be so gullible. It's you know what players are going to do, make them earn it.
Yeah, Scott Foster refereed game 3 of Indiana and New York. And Indiana was actually up by double digits, but New York ended up coming back to win in the second half. Yeah, and they won by 6. And the series got extended.
Look at y'all. Okay. All right. I don't got one, man. I haven't honestly I've been watching the sports I've been watching has been kind of sparing. So I can't even front like I got actually no, I take that back. Mine would just be the parity, man. Today's game was closer, which is awesome. We had a couple close ones, but them last couple rounds, man, you'd have one close game, they come back home, next team lose by 30, 40 points, and another 34-point loss. Me and Brian we started watching that OKC Minnesota game, the other one a couple days ago. Man, they was up 15. By the time we turned in, we watched about 10 minutes kind of out the side of our eye and turned it off. So
Minnesota would not miss. They did not miss.
And it's gonna happen, right? I mean, it's nothing you can necessarily do. It just seems like I don't remember a ton of blowouts in playoff games. So it is what it is. So yeah, that, and then last segment, man, minute to win it. Already give a shout out to Sis for her birthday. I'm chilling. Thanks everybody for listening. Appreciate everybody who supported us from the beginning.
Yeah, mine will be definitely birthday shout out to Caressa. I found out today, and Brian, I don't know if you heard about this, but I found out today that USC might not be playing Notre Dame, and their Pac-10 people, whatever traditionalists, are in outrage because of it. If I'm USC and I play in the Big Ten, I am not trying to schedule Notre Dame, so I could probably tack on another loss to my schedule with the Big Ten schedule that you're already playing. I have no opinion about it. I'm not sure why people are upset. I'm sure USC will play Notre Dame again, probably just not every year, but you don't play that game if you're USC just to appeal to traditionalists. You have to think about, the conference you're playing in and, how you're trying to get in the playoff and whatnot, and probably Notre Dame. And to be honest with you, USC doesn't need Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not in the conference. They need USC to boost their resume. So if I'm USC, I wouldn't think about playing Notre Dame either. So, but I know there's people that's uptight about it. Brian, I'm not sure how you feel about it, but I don't see the big deal on USC not playing Notre Dame. So I'm just telling people just to kind of get over it. USC plays a hard enough schedule.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of traditional. I did not know about that, but I'm sure there's plenty of traditionalists. But the main loss is the money. That game generates so much money every single year. It's NBC. Loves that game. So I am real surprised they did take it off there, because no one cares whether USC gets that win or not. They care about the money. But anyway, that's crazy. Life's got its foot at my backside right now. But one thing I did want to point out, because I haven't been paying as much attention to the world as I usually do, but over the weekend were a series of college graduations. And our president was at the military academy doing the graduation. Went on for almost 20 minutes, and it was like 16, 17 minutes, about trophy wives at a military college graduation, and ranting. Had to be walked up to the podium because he couldn't figure out where he was or what he was doing. Then left the graduation before doing the one thing that you do at a military graduation, which is salute all of the graduates, to run off to go to a golf course and hop in a golf cart and go and do his thing. Instead, he told people he had to leave immediately because he needed to deal with Russia and China, and then was immediately videotaped at a golf course on a golf cart. It's comical. It's sad, to those people who've earned and deserve the respect of our president, which is these folks, these ladies and gentlemen who were part of our armed forces and couldn't get their commander-in-chief to spend enough time to have someone prepare a speech for him to give at their graduation, and instead had to listen to him talk about his friend's collection of trophy wives. I offer my apology, which means absolutely nothing to all of you, but still, it is such a depressing state of situation, and we're now, we kicked Biden to the curb because of his medical issues and his senility and things of that, and now we have a president who is all of those things, but also a complete jackass. Anyways, that's my last comments today.
And to you people who listen, thank you. We'll catch y'all next time.
You people who listen.
That is funny.
This is Sports Counterpoints. It's May the 27th, 2025. We'll catch y'all next time.